Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something pretty much nobody on the internet is doing. I'm going to post real throws with real distances. So we're not talking UDisc measured distances. We're not talking made up, make believe internet distances. I'm actually going to hand measure each one of these throws. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to compare what the TechDisc's simulated distance is to the real distance that's measured out in the field. So we're going to throw the TechDisc not into the simulator, but out in the field. We're going to get the disc all nice and dirty, which I just love. And then we're going to compare that with how far that disc actually went. So I recorded some throws. I'm going to show those sort of side by side, and then at the end we'll talk through the data. So here we go. Let's jump into it. All right, here comes the first throw. It's a backhand with the TechDisc. For those that don't know, mine is a destroyer, which isn't a disc that I normally throw. That one went 302 feet in real life. The TechDisc said I did a lot better and it went 391. Here I'm throwing just a normal destroyer that isn't the TechDisc to give sort of a difference between the two, and that one ended up going 320 feet. So it means the TechDisc puck being on the bottom doesn't make that big of a difference. There we ripped a forehand. It went 368 feet in real life. TechDisc said it went 339 feet. I also tried, there's a boss that I threw out there, and I put the flight numbers in for the boss and the TechDisc, and it says it went 302, where it really went 342. I also switched the TechDisc over to a rock and gave that a throw. Here we got 219 feet versus 256. So you can see there that the measured distance and the distance that TechDisc actually gives to it are definitely different. I have on the screen a list of all of those throws and just a few more throws, and I can tell you sort of the pattern of what I've seen from throwing this in the field quite a bit more than even what I have on the screen here. And it's that for me personally, the TechDisc ends up giving me more credit than I deserve for my backhand throws. Pretty much every single time I throw a backhand, the TechDisc is suggesting that it's gone further than it actually has. Now, there's a lot of factors that come into play here. So one of them is the wind. So in the TechDisc world, it's suggesting that there is no wind. I can tell you there was a pretty decent right to left out in the field that I was throwing in. I tried to wait for a day where there wasn't a ton of wind, but that doesn't really exist in that field. There's always wind out there. So that was sort of the best day that I can end up finding. I don't think the wind is going to make, an 89 to a 50-foot difference, though, on any of those throws. I think that the TechDisc really is looking at something in my backhand and suggesting that it should go further than it actually does. Now, on the forehands, I actually tend to get the opposite result. So the data on the screen doesn't do the greatest job of showing this. If you look at throw 2 there, it's got this huge outlier where the TechDisc said it went 215 feet further. That's because that one ended up becoming a roller. And it didn't roll well in reality, where TechDisc said it went pretty far. What I actually see in reality for my forehand is more like what you see on throw 3 here, and then the boss throw, where what's ending up happening is it's not giving my forehand as much credit as it deserves. My forehand tends to go a pretty good distance, and in TechDisc, they're usually taking, I'd say on average from what I've seen, somewhere between 40 to 70 feet off of my forehand throws. So some pretty interesting data there. In terms of the rock and the boss, I'd say the rock backhand throw, was pretty accurate at the end of the day. I can push it out to 250 on occasion, but 219 is probably more of the reality of how far I'm throwing that. So I'd say that's a pretty accurate representation. And like I said, what happened with the boss is also a pretty accurate representation. So there you go. I posted real throws with real distances, nothing made up here. Hope you enjoyed it.